Good morning, greenies, as Pat likes to say. How you all doing? All right, so it's been an elusive bottom that we've been looking for here. Good morning. There we go. I keep shut that off over there. All right, so the W didn't set up. The head and shoulders, maybe, but it's on the edge of not happening. Yeah. This is the current day. Started with the futures today. And so it's trading inside of yesterday's range. At this point, there's nothing to stop it from going down to the October low. And if that is in the cards, I would certainly prefer it to break it. Not a decisive break where it just, a monster push down through that, because that's not a scenario that I have at this time. But if this is to go down and head down here, you get a complete retest. It's not the kind of W bottom that we look for, but it will be tradable. But what's going to happen at that time, and I said this at the beginning of the week, that if that was to happen, then we're going to be dealing with a big, fat, wide trading range. Okay, prices come down here. And so the reason it's not a W is because I don't like that color, because it's gone from here all the way up here. So when prices rally, 100% of a prior decline, think about what that indicates. When here's our drop, right? Here was our measured move to the downside right there. And then it rallies all the way back up to where it started that move. Well, clearly that says it's strong. The buying is strong. So if this can make the head and shoulders, okay, it's got to do it like today, right? Tomorrow, I suppose. It's got to happen like now to set up going higher next week. But if this results in a move down here, and I'm messing, a bit of a mess here, and we were to get, this kind of arrangement of candles in this location, fine, we'll trade that. But now we've got a trading range to deal with, versus if we were to have a W bottom, like the type of W bottom that historically sets up that we look for, right? It looks like this. Right? And then we don't know that it's going to go up, but we anticipate that it's going to go up for multiple time frame corrections, market internals, and other things. But just this is the picture. The picture is not this, right? That's a trading range. Now, we'll trade it if we get the appropriate arrangement of candles that signal a move off of the low. Sure, why not? But this is a much more powerful pattern about having a rally, because with this, if this was strength, there's no doubt that this is weakness, and it's a trading range. Now, what it's going to do down here, well, maybe it goes halfway up the range and comes back down, and that makes a W. I don't know. That what's happening here is not developed enough for us to really know what it's going to do, because there's no setup. Can it turn here? Maybe. We'll see today or tomorrow. Is it going to go down here? We'll see, right? Today or tomorrow. And then, we're going to make a decision as to how we're going to trade that. Meaning, if it's down here, we're going to find stocks that are directional trades. We're going to find stocks and or markets that are put spread candidates, and so on. But right now, it's like we're in limbo here, so we have to find individual stocks that maybe are doing their own thing. And we found a few yesterday, and the buyers left the party, right? The Square, the Cree, and all of a sudden it was like, fire, run for the exits. And, it's not like those stocks were decimated, but they certainly went from somewhat bullish patterns. Square was pretty bullish on the intraday, and Cree was even bullish when the market went down 600 points, the Dow, and it fell apart yesterday. Buyers just left. Said, hey, another day. So hold on a second. This is where we're at. And you can see this is the hourly chart of the futures here, and downtrend, and it's making a new low as I speak, pushing lower. So maybe it's going down there. We're going to know pretty soon. Qs certainly look like they're going down there. And so when patterns fall apart, and what fell apart here? Hold on. When this strength didn't produce a pattern here where candles went sideways in the upper half of this bar to push up to this level, rather they fell back down, the potential for the bullish pattern here fell apart. Then it came down to this level where buyers could have stepped up. Not a great setup because it's below the wide range bar, but those can and do turn around and get to that level. That didn't work. There were pieces times intraday, where the setups came and the buyers came in. You can't see it on this chart, of course, because it's inside the bar. That fell apart. And then, there was some levels here intraday. Anyway, every time it started to set up, intraday, it fell apart. And this certainly looks like it's got to go down here. So if that's going down there, I suspect the S&Ps are going to do something along those lines. The Dow, which was the strongest last week, exceeding the October high and moving toward this high area up here, fell apart. So far, it's holding yesterday's low. Maybe this makes a higher low, but everything at this time says this is going to go lower, and there's a void here. There's no support, and that's part of the problem, right? I didn't show you on the other ones, but where would you place a bid or expect prices to begin to stabilize if they don't do it here? There's nothing. There's nothing under here. It's got to come down to here or here. If we look at the S&Ps, right, which are going lower now, they have to come down here, which is, the low. So intraday trading, unless, there's some miracle reversal that some news comes out, short the retracements on a 5-minute chart with expectations that it's going to go lower. Right? Buying the stabilization areas when it tried, you don't know it wasn't going to work, but it's not working. So now there's no area to trade against, and it's going down. Dow, we've looked at the Dow, same stuff. S&Ps, ES, same stuff. Right? So unless there's some kind of miracle reversal where this blasts up through this prior high here, think lower. Oil is stabilizing here, the giant wide range bar. We'll see if it can get off the mat a little bit. And what would an inverse ETF like SH make sense? Well, if you think the market's going to go down, and if SH can go up. Yeah, absolutely, Cindy. Yeah, I mean, that's the purpose of these things. You can trade them in an IRA. You can't short an IRA, but you can buy this. It's going to have pretty much the same pattern. You see how it's going up there. So yes, good idea. Gold and recovering. Didn't, as we talked about, this was looking good. It was consolidating, had the dip, buyer stepped up again, back down. It's a mess. So now it's not all the way down to support yet, but whatever buyers are stepping up here prior to that, that could be viewed as a somewhat positive sign. Maybe this is just a big trading range that's developing here. We'll continue to monitor it. And look, this sector is one, when it's out of favor, just stay away from it. It's crap. But when it's in favor, it can be an amazing sector with the stocks that are in it that can have great moves. So why bother with this? Because when its time comes, it'll do very, very well. You can remember, right? That's a beautiful uptrend. Right? Look at that. Look at that. That's like NVIDIA, whatever, Amazon. When its time comes, it's a great trading vehicle. Right? So, all right. Anything else we want to review here? That's some mutual funds. That did nothing. That's already been beaten down. The transports showed a little relative strength yesterday. Okay, we'll see what it does here today. Kind of flip-flopping around there. Energy, there's nothing that really looks good, which makes sense. Right? Things look like they can go lower. AMD held up like a champ yesterday. Doesn't look like much on the daily, but when the market was going down, the buyers just kept coming for it. It's down here a little bit this morning, but it was really showing great relative strength yesterday. During all the selling, buyers just kept stepping up on it. So did well. Facebook, maybe making a W bottom. We thought like maybe we were going to have something there at the end of the day, and then the markets couldn't hold on to their gains. That happened around, I guess, from 3 to 3:30 or so, and then it kind of fell apart. And this was up at the high of the day. So and the market came in, and this started to come in. We stepped away from what we were looking to do. But anyway, that's it. All yours, Dan. Dan, here he goes.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I had both mutes on. All right, yeah, good morning, everyone. Glad to be back with my full monitors. And yeah, when I was looking at the markets last night, when I left early yesterday to travel, they were holding up. And I remember in the morning we were saying, or I was saying, this is a bullish gap. Provided it holds. We had an extended 15-minute chart here pre-market, and then it started selling off, and it sold off some more. So yeah, that was an ugly close, and now we're trading under it. So I totally agree. We're going lower until we're not. We opened positions. We put on this STI yesterday, which was a beautiful setup. I did a put spread, and then it is what it is. We have a wide stop, though. We sold the far out 60s for December. BA, we still have a half lot of a call spread. Visa, not looking great, but we still have an out of the money call spread. Put spread, the 138s. So we're still hanging in there. And it expires tomorrow. Today's Thursday. So come on, melting ice cube. Cree, we have a covered call. Remember yesterday morning, we legged into a covered call. I said if it trades under the day's low, whenever I posted it in the morning. Cold, we're looking for a pullback. Wow, that's relative strength. Now that hit our target entry on Tuesday, but I didn't like the market, so I can't take credit for it. You know, we didn't trigger it, but I still have it on the list. Duke also, we had a put spread over the high of this bar, but it never triggered. And that's it on opens. Let's look at a bunch of gappers now. NTAP, that's an ugly gap. I don't think that was earnings, so I don't know what its problem is. But yeah, we got crazy action here. This was a bullish, greater than 100% move, but then we had weekly sell setups. Monthlies are cracked all over the place. KBH, oh, it was earnings, thanks. KBH, I don't know if this is earnings, but this is waking up to an ugly gap under 19 bucks here. That's ugly. Under, you know, 39.60. So that's a bearish gap. This is, wow, look at all these tails. That's very interesting chart. Tail, tail, tail. But then the real bodies are up. Wow. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. JCPenney had earnings, and this poor thing looks like he's headed to the graveyard. Look at that. Topping tails, false breakout in the late 2016, 10 bucks. That is ugly. ED, another utility, 77 bucks, nothing to do, but it's gapping here to the midpoint. This is an iron condor candidate. Oracle I saw up in a weak market, 50 bucks. So look, that's bullish. That's gapping over this bar. I'm going to put that in a window over here. And then I noticed Cisco also, the Cisco kid, 46 bucks. Look, that's bullish. So we got two bullish gaps here in some big techs. I like this 15-minute setup better pre-market than this one. This one's sloshing all over the place. RYB, never heard of him, but that is an ugly gap down. Wow, that's an IPO in 2017. This was an ugly type of retest pattern, but you know, we never enter retest until what? Until we get a reversal. So that would have been over Tuesday's high. And now it's gapping to all-time lows. That's horrible. So yeah, I'm with Alex here. I'm watching these natural gas ETFs. Look, just when it, remember this gap here? Whoop. This gap here was a bullish, it was a big gap. I remember looking at it the day. This one's a levered one, but I was looking at UNG, and it was a huge gap at the time. Now look at it. That gap looks like a no-brainer continuation, but then it gapped again. Now it gapped, wide range ending on volume. Now it's gapping down. So that's a bearish gap surprise. So yes, I want to watch these natural gas ETFs for shorts today. QURE 2860. That's a bullish gap. I'm going to put that in a window on my other computer. QURE. So here's the UNG, the unlevered one. Yeah, see, here's the gap that I was talking about from here to here. It was pretty big the day of. Yeah, so there's my UNG down here in the bottom right window. NGG, 54 bucks. The bearish gap way down here. I don't know what to do with it. We'll have to come back to him. CPA, that was a very bullish setup. 180 reversal, deep move into resistance, took out this prior high, consolidation through time, bullish 1, 2, 3, 4 on the weekly. That was past tense, a bullish pattern. Now it's gapping here. There's no pattern right now, but TDS. This is leftover. So now I'm into my leftovers. And we'll just see if anything jumps out at us. That's junk. You're gone. Snap. You're a dog and you know it. ALK. We were watching Alaska Airlines on Tuesday for a put spread. I was watching this one to see if it would hold for a short term, like tomorrow, put spread. So if we do get a reversal today, like always, we can keep an eye on shorting puts for tomorrow. W, bearish consolidation and a downtrend. Now it's gapping lower, 86.50. It still looks lower. It's a continuation. It's weak. Nothing there. And the pot stock, POS, had an ugly gap yesterday. USO, we were watching. We'll still watch it. It's not ready. I say that this is why we like retest patterns so much. I mean, if you did trade a climactic, that's fine. It's a day trade, and if it closes well with a price void, you can hold it for 1, 2, 3 days as long as the pattern suggests. But retest W patterns are just so much more confident. Tahoe, this was a big bullish gap yesterday. I don't know what to do with it. LMFA, that looks like a penny junk stock. XNet, there's no pattern. Whiskey Bravo, that's a bullish pre-market. Gap coming into minor support here. We'll keep an eye on that for possibly a put spread for tomorrow. M had earnings yesterday, and remember, I don't trade these that are this whippy pre-market. See that? That is a crazy, unpredictable behavior. And then you're gone. I have no interest in Macy's. The old goose was on the loose yesterday. We'll keep them there. AAP, that is an ugly, ugly reversal of that prior day's earnings. Tilray, pot stock had earnings yesterday with CGC. Home Depot turned ugly. Boeing, we're in. NVIDIA has earnings. Is it today? Maybe after the bell? I knew it's soon. Excuse me. These utilities, California utility, are, I was reading the paper tonight, this morning. It's either this one or PCG, I forget which. They're both two big ones out there in California. That, they're one of them. It might be this one. They're already talking about possibly having to file bankruptcy. So, I mean, they said they've exhausted their, is it PCG? That they're coming close to, yeah, this one's uglier. So yeah, this one suggests that it's this one. That that they had a $2.5 billion credit facility, and that they're already think they're going to exhaust it. So in this case, I would not. If somebody's threatening, not threatening, they're talking about it. Sure, it could be all talk.